Are we rolling?
Yes, because let me tell you something, this is going to be more interesting than the intro.
Right, these are the things that we discuss at length.
Upside down bananas, and beards, and
circular ice cubes, you know, or square ice cubes.
Okay. So I got these questions Inside Out gave me.
I'm leaving that.
So
why is Germany the best country in the world?
Yeah, what is Germany the best country in the world?
How great is Inside Out record?
Right.
Where would you be without us?
So the first question is, did any one of you think that you'd ever record a new album and go on tour again before it actually happened?
I did. I knew it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Because I think I prayed to God about it, right? Like on a Pain of Salvation album. So you could thank Daniel, because Daniel had me leave a message to God on an answering machine on a Pain of Salvation album, and I guess God reached out to you, and
He did. That must have been how it happened.
I mean, the ball was always in your court. I mean, during the whole hiatus period, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would assume it's the same. I got asked all the time.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I always said, you know, if the ball's in Neal's court, therefore the ball's in God's court. And we were just waiting for the call. But you know,
I think probably the first 4 or 5 years I said, I don't know, maybe next year. But I think around 2007 I started saying, no, I don't think it's going to happen. So
really?
that's how I felt.
See, I'm the opposite of that, because when I noticed that, you know, you two had worked together and then you guested on one of Neal's albums, I was thinking, well, you know, things are kind of changing and maybe we will work together. You know, I always hoped we would, you know, because
you know what, guys, when we played in was it Pittsburgh, yeah, and you and me guested on Neal's set, I was thinking, maybe.
I think that definitely laid the you know, the thoughts into. I don't know about you, but did that lay the thought into your head that the time might be right?
Well, I was already being dealt with about it before that. I think I was praying about it before that. I don't know the timing exactly, but it was a while for me that I was considering it and praying about it, and then I felt like it was the right thing to do and the right time. And then when we first started to talk about it, then it was the challenge, of course, was scheduling it. You know, and it was beginning to look like there was not going to be a period of time when we could actually do it.
yeah,
You know?
I know.
And so I was like, well, and then your schedule shifted, and there was like,
Yeah.
there was this
2 weeks.
There was actually a
2 week
window.
period.
I had just finished the Dream Theater album and was scheduled to do a press tour, so there was like literally a 2-week period.
Mhm.
But then
Right.
once we did the album, you know, we knew that we wanted to play shows, and we had the foresight of being able to at least find a window in 2010 to block, and then, you know, we're able, you know, 6 months in advance to be able to block time to come together to tour. And you know, at that point we all committed to it and made our schedules work around it. I'm glad we did.
We actually discussed it while we were recording, didn't we?
I mean, we knew we definitely had to go back out.
Well, it's such a powerful piece, you know. It just
It was so enjoyable.
demanded to be played.
It was enjoyable, actually, having spent the time away from each other. I think I enjoyed it immensely this time round.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think I even said this on the documentary on the 2001 live release. I personally, even at that point, before you decided to go your own way, I wanted Transatlantic to take a break anyway, because I didn't want this to be a project that was going to be like a, you know, an annual or semi-annual release. I thought it would be good for the project to take a break. So it kind of worked out good that, you know, the things went the way they did, because I think it made, you know, once we did come back together, that much more special.
Yeah.
So it was all your idea.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying it kind of worked.
What
out.
happened to God? Is he happy?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
It wasn't. But the hiatus wasn't by design, but I think it worked.
Yeah.
The timing was good.
Yeah.
And then you went writing for the new album. How did the actual writing process go? How did it shape form? The album was written quite quickly, however, it wouldn't fit on one disc. How did it go?
Well, I think
It did fit on one disc. Well, not all the material that we recorded. But, yeah. It could have been 2 discs. I wanted to make it a double. You know, for anybody, just for the. I was wanting it to go for a double because we had so much material. Roine had so much material, but it wasn't the way the rest of the band wanted to go. So we made a 75-minute epic with bonus disc, and that's fine.
Ultimately, it was a double with the bonus disc. I mean, you ended up getting 4 more original pieces and 4 covers. So.
I'm the double album guy, as you all know.
Yeah.
I felt actually, I think I said this. I didn't want to make the long piece of music. I wanted to make shorter songs.
Right. Yeah, you had said that.
Yeah.
It's like
because it was for me. It was like the double album concept was done. The long song format was done. I think so many times by me, by you. So it felt. I just wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the end, you can see it any way you want. Like,
I think it's
like a big piece of music.
It ended up being kind of the best combination of both.
Yeah.
A giant, long, 77-minute piece, or a collection of smaller pieces. You know, it could kind of be taken both ways. So it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the double album will be the next one. Gives us something to shoot for.
But it's just one song, right?
Yeah. One song over 2 albums.
I'm expecting a phone call.
Just one
We
tune.
have to learn
Just one tune.
128 notes.
Right.
Just ignore the fade on the first album. We're not doing the fade thing. We're just like going straight onto the second album.
Yeah. Just cut.
But,
the writing process.
I was going to say, getting back to the
question.
We'd all actually written stuff for to be presented to the recording session beforehand. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to come up with all that music in the 2 or 3 days we had before starting to record it.
Neal
already had a whirlwind piece,
and I had some stuff written, and then I wrote some more when I found out we were going to record it. So
and Pete had some.
I started writing as soon as I knew we were going to be doing it. I had a sort of 2 or 3 months where I was on tour with Marillion, but I was writing while I was.
And Mike did his gleaning thing. He's the gleaner. He goes through and picks out the good bits and somehow figures out how they're going to fit together. And I always say that's not going to fit together. So I'm sure it will. He's right. It usually winds up working out.
The organizer.
Yeah, the organizer. Yeah. Very critical thing.
All right. Lyrically, there seems to be a lot of religious stuff in it. Did one of the other members ever had a problem with the religious Christian lyrics? Did you argue about it?
Never, as far as I know.
No, I just the lyrics that I wrote, I just sent them in an email. I think to everybody. We didn't have really completed lyrics when we left. We had some stuff. I didn't have a complete set of final lyrics. I think we were still working on it. I didn't even know what some of your lyrics were until you kind of sent them, and so I sent them to everybody, and nobody ever. I don't think anybody even hardly responded. So I said, "Well, let's just go on ahead."
You know what? I think the reality is, at least Neal's lyrics, even on the first 2 Transatlantic albums, touched on the spiritual side and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
I think it was, so anything that was on this album, I don't think felt out of place. No. I don't think it was like Neal writing Christian music. It felt like it was very naturally part of what the Transatlantic message and lyrics always had been in the past. And I don't think anything was blatantly